Hello everyone, I'm Ross Thompson. I'm here in our design lab. I'm going to tell you a little about thread count. What is thread count? What are the weaves that we sell here at the store? And when thread count is important and when it is not as important. Essentially, thread count is the measurement of how many yarns are fitting into 1 square inch. Imagine a loom where you have the yarns on the weft going horizontally, then you have the yarns going vertically, and then they interlace, overlap, and so you have your warp and your weft, and how many yarns are in that square inch is essentially what the thread count is. A lot of times the manufacturers will inflate the number. And how do they do that? Each yarn is a long thread of material, of cotton, for example. Some manufacturers, what they can do and have done is they will take 2 of those threads and ply them together, or 3 of those threads. And with those 3 threads, they will apply it with 3 other threads. So you have a lot of threads in your weft and your warp. So what would normally be a 250 thread count sheet could go up to 500, double that, because you've got like 2 ply, 2 yarns spliced together. Even higher, you can go up to 750 or 1,000 by adding more yarns and splicing those together. So the manufacturer is counting all of those yarns to be in that 1 inch for the thread count. You might have more pilling because the yarns are shorter. They're not long staple. So it's a lower quality yarn. One of the more popular weaves you'll find in sheeting is percale weave. Another name for that is plain weave. If you imagine the threads, 1 over, 1 under, 1 over, 1 under, both on the weft and the warp, you'll get that crisp feeling. But it's like a dress shirt, for example. It's so nice and soft, but also has a nice crispness about it as well. You probably want to go between 200 thread count and 300 thread count. And once again, if you're starting with really excellent cotton or base material, then you're going to have a nice soft percale and crisp sheet. Another weave that we frequently hear is sateen weave. It produces a softness and it gives you a much more luxurious feel because you do have more of a luster with the sheets, as opposed to the over and under like the percale. The thread goes over 4 threads and then under 1, and then over 4, then under 1. Some other characteristics of a sateen weave is you'll get less wrinkles than a percale because the yarns are more densely packed. So you'll get a smoother, softer sheet, but you're also getting a heavier sheet than, let's say, percale. You want more of a density in your square inch. Because a less dense weave, you've got more exposed yarns, then you have more possibilities for pilling. The optimal sateen thread counts, in my opinion, would be starting at 300, going up to as high as 700. Up to 700 is feasibly what you can fit of single ply yarns into 1 square inch. Anything over 700, I think I would be a little suspicious, because then you have the possibility of multiply yarns. Do thread counts really matter? I think the short answer is probably no. Don't put so much faith in the number you see, because you can go and get 1,200 thread count sheet and it can feel like sandpaper just because of the base ingredients, threads, yarn that they started the weave with. Whereas you could find 250 percale, for example, and it'd be buttery soft and nice and crisp and gorgeous to the touch. Because once again, it's like, really good cotton they've woven that with.